Paintball nerd.
All right, today's guest on Paintball Nerds Reflections interview has been coaching Damage on and off for nearly 16 years. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Joey Blute.
How's it
How
going?
you doing, Joey? Good, man.
Another day
Thanks
in
for doing
paradise.
this.
Yeah, no worries.
So you just came off a pretty good season. I mean, second place at World Cup, not too shabby, right?
Yeah, second place is better than not, but it's still not,
Right.
the goal, right? So you
Right.
don't finish where what the goal is, then it's still a failure.
Yeah. Well, what do you think Damage did really well this season?
We came together this year more so than the last 3 or 4 years since I've been back, where the guys actually like we're playing for each other more than playing for the win, which is it's completely and totally different than it actually sounds. I mean, it's very similar, but it's not. Like playing for each other, you see more out of them. They put more into it. They're out there every week and grinding hard with each other. They're motivating each other to get out there on the off weekends. Where previous 3 years it was me spurring them along to get them out there rather than them doing it on their own.
What do you think changed? What do you think spurred the change there?
The want to win. I think that's probably the biggest thing, right? Like everybody plays to win, but not everybody wins. And being able to get to the point where you're competitive enough to win, it makes a big difference, right? Like paintball is more mental than anyone gives it credit for as far as mentality coming into it. I get accused for being a dick a lot of the times because I'm so blunt and direct about shit, but it's more like there's nobody in this world who wins and they're nice people all the time, right? Like I'm a nice person if you talk to me, walk up to me, whatever. But I mean, you could ask anyone that knows me outside of paintball, and my wife will tell you that she won't even come watch me do it because I have to be a whole different mentality, right? Like
Right.
go from being a nice, husband and father to a fucking alpha who has to shit on some of the best players in the world to get the best out of them.
Yeah. True, man. You gotta get the A players to perform the best. You kind of have to check them a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you have to check them a little bit. You have to make sure that they understand that the effort you're putting in is as much, if not more, than the effort that they're putting in. So it's across the board, right? Like everyone has to be on the same page and be willing to sacrifice the same amount to win. And
Yeah.
again, it's easy to say you want to win. It's easy to say you're gonna win. To win is a whole nother fucking animal. I mean, there's been 4 teams that have won over the last 8 years, 9 years, 5 teams, I think. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. So what do you think Damage really needs to improve on for 2023?
Just believing in it, having a little more depth is going to help, right? Getting Rainey was a huge addition for us. He gives us the ability to have more flexibility with the players. We went into the World Cup with a full roster, not a full same level roster. Some of the guys were lagging behind. Some of the guys missed some events. Some of the guys we picked up halfway through the year. And it takes time. It takes time to gel everyone together. It takes time to make it all work. Dynasty's as good as they are because they've had the same team forever. Heat's as consistent as good as they are because they've had the same team forever. Impact is kind of the exception to the rule, but they were able to pull a lot of the guys that they had before to take more of a leadership role. So even with them, I mean, they added 3 or 4 new guys last offseason, but they still had 6 guys they brought back that were used to winning. So, those are the teams that are above us.
So do you think that like believing in the win is the main component there, or do you think it's
No, it's everything. You got to put the work in, right? Like so the mental side of it is believing that you have the ability to beat the guy out there with you. And again, it's easy to say it, but actually believing it is a whole nother animal, right? And I think that's a big part of it that a lot of people will never admit to because that would indicate that there's some kind of weakness in them. But that's a big part of it, right? Like individual skill wise, I feel like my team individually, my 10 guys are probably better than most, better than even some of the other teams that are above us. But they believe in each other more than my guys believe in each other. Or they did. My guys this year started believing in each other, and it shows.
So you mentioned picking up Rainey. Do you have any other roster changes that you're anticipating or that you think might make sense?
We'll see.
Come on.
It's too early for any.
You don't have to reveal anything, but what do you think? I mean, do you think you could add anyone?
Listen, the door is always open for the top 5 guys, right? Anybody who
Mhm.
says they wouldn't take any of the top 5 guys in paintball is lying to you. It doesn't matter how good their roster was, and it doesn't matter how good their team is. We're all looking to get better, right? So
Right.
if you could grab a marquee player, you're going to grab a marquee player. So am I going to grab a marquee player? We'll see. Like, I
We'll
mean,
see.
don't get me
Okay.
wrong. If Marcelo calls me tomorrow and says, "Hey, I'm done with Dynasty. I want to play with you guys," I'll find a way to get Marcelo on the squad. Right? If Tyler does that, if Mouse does that, there's a list of guys that we'll figure it out for because we want to win, and those guys could help us get to the position we need to be a more dominant team.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you guys anticipate any sponsorship changes? Or are you gonna stick with what you got?
Yeah, so we are definitely having some sponsorship changes this year. We had a great run with Virtue, great guys, great stuff. They did a really good job for us. It really helped us out a lot. They saved the team when the team was about ready to go down. In this current day and age, paint rules everything around me.
Mhm.
GI came to us. We had a lifelong talk with them. I've had a good relationship with those guys for a lot of years. So we will be with GI more this year. We're also going to be rocking a lot of the new sector stuff, which is a new brand that Jason Edwards is heading up through social.
Cool.
It's going to be more of a high end brand, so we're going to be rocking some of that stuff too. We're still going to be with Lux. I mean, you can't; those guns are ridiculous. The
Yeah.
freak barrels and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, there's going to be some changes for sure, but it's the nature of the game. Everybody has changes eventually. So
Yep.
again, Virtue was really good to us. We're not leaving with any ill will. It's just we got to do what's best to fund the team to get the team to the next level, and funding is a big part of winning.
Totally. So you guys gonna be using the new JT loader more than likely?
Yeah, yeah, it's looking that way. We tested some of it out last couple of weeks, and I mean it works well. Like it feeds incredibly fast. It's a little different when you first see it and hold it, but when you put it on the gun, it feels good. So we're running it through the ringer now. If everything goes good, we'll definitely be rocking that.
Right on, Joey. So what are you and the guys looking forward to most next season?
Winning. I mean, anybody who says different is lying or in it for the wrong reasons. Like to me,
Yeah.
I do this for one reason, and that's to win. So I'm going to go out there and we're going to put the best effort we can in to get the W's because it's I don't know. I've been doing this a long time and going to events and traveling and all that other shit. It's kind of fun, but you did it for 10, 15, 16 years. It's not like we're going to like really cool places, right? We're going to Midway Airport to drive 2 hours someplace in Chicago, right? Like
Yeah.
so. I mean, it's not about the destination; it's about winning. So to me, it's the only thing I'm looking forward to is getting the squad out, putting the work in, and getting some W's this year.
There it is. Joey, thank you so much for your time here. Is there
Yeah,
anything that
no
you want
worries.
to part with for the paintball
Uh,
community?
yeah, I just want to thank everyone who's helped us get there. Like, there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes, friends, family. All of us now. We went from being young kids when we started this to 99% of us have significant others and children, and there's a lot of sacrifice that goes on the backside that no one knows about. Like our wives are dealing with all of our children while we're out chasing a
True.
dream. So
Yep.
definitely shout out to all the wives and moms out there, significant others. Like it's just it's an awesome thing to do, but it's definitely a lot. Like it's a lot. So sponsors can't do it without them. CJ Botsolis, the man. Besides that, looking forward to 2023.
Awesome. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no worries, dude.